Good morning, folks. Today we're locked in on the sun and the earth. Several items to discuss in space weather, from flaring to sunspots to the solar cycle to eruptions. We also have a bit of seismic news to hit as well, and we're starting as always with the last 24 hours on our star. The morning kicked off with flaring and a strong CME eruption on the departing hemisphere to the right. Afterwards, the incoming northern sunspots top left stole the show, firing several M-class flares. It is turning in to directly face Earth this coming week. Let's go to the X-ray flux. We're seeing the continued flare production, almost all of it from that northern incoming sunspot group. So let's go ahead and pull the 94 angstrom view so we can see the flare flashing. And like I said, both sides were active in the morning, followed by the northern incoming active region sunspots dominating the X-ray production throughout the rest of the day. Interestingly, it was the lone right side burst in the morning that made a notable CME. SOHO shows two CME signatures leaving the right side, but the second was much faster, overtaking the first. Good thing that's not aimed our way, because it was clocked at over 2,000 kilometers per second. The blast has surged high-energy protons along the interplanetary magnetic field. Earth is in a level 1 proton radiation storm right now. If you recall, we also expected a coronal hole stream. We do see that faster solar wind the last 12 hours, but it is a bit jumpy. It's not too dense, and it's magnetically oriented to deflect off of our magnetic field. Geomagnetic conditions, bit quieter this morning. The sunspots are showing what we have been trending towards for 2 days. Decay in all the sunspot groups except that one top left, incoming on the north. It's firing the flares. Not surprising, given that it is the most complex. Up next, first sunspot cycle update of the new year. We are riding well above the predictions, the red line, as we have been the last 2 years. We still have a ways to go in this solar maximum, which has now crept up into the mid-range solar cycle level. It is stronger than several past cycles in just the last century. Certainly didn't end up being the start of a grand minimum, did it? The cycle marches on. Lastly here today, folks, yesterday we discussed a seismic swarm in Ethiopia, creating cracks in the ground along the East African rift. The quakes have continued today, slightly weaker, but to the south, other quakes are hitting the extension of that rift zone. Eyes still firmly watching. Folks, the mini conference schedule for the pole shift days at Observer Ranch is there in yellow. Got a special meetup day on the 21st where we'll also be celebrating Daddy coming home. And of course, August Dunning coming May 3rd and 4th for the big 2-day event. More announcements are coming. Come out and see us. ObserverRanch.com. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Right here, right now at 6 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open. No fear. Be safe, everyone.